right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our sixth episode of season 2 of Fae Fam Talks, where I, Glamour Fairy, talk to content creators about their journeys through content creation and a topic of their choice. Today, our guest is it's Nicole B. If you don't know this wonderful being, this wonderful bee, uh,
Aw.
you should definitely check out all of their social medias. I found Nicole relatively close to the beginning of my Twitch journey. I'm pretty sure if I think you were playing Animal Crossing at some point, and I just came into
Probably.
your stream and was vibing there. I probably found you through some of my friends and whatnot that I had. I only know that I've been in your community. I think close to the full 2 years that I've been on Twitch. But yeah, other than that, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, totally. Also, thank you. First off, thank you for having me on your podcast. I think we might have met through Lizabelle, actually.
Possibly,
I
yeah.
yeah, I think Liz and I were both playing a lot of Animal Crossing New Leaf at the time, um, especially getting geared up and ready for New Horizons. So I think that's probably where we met. But hi, I'm Nicole B. I am a variety streamer on Twitch. I play a lot of Nintendo games. Whenever I get rated, I always say that if you like puns and positivity, then you're in the right place. And that's really what I try to keep my content geared around. Just a lot of wholesome shenanigans. I play a lot of Animal Crossing is what we started out playing. Playing New Leaf. That's where I really found my home on Twitch. When I very first started streaming, I played games like Stardew Valley. I've got a really big place in my heart for farming sims. But
Yes.
they're so good and wholesome and cozy.
They're literally
And
my favorite.
that's so good. Have you been playing anything like that recently on your channel?
I have been working on a playthrough for YouTube of Stardew. I want to do a full 100% completion farm, which I've never done before. And with Ginger Island added to it, like it's even more difficult now. Um,
Ginger Island?
yeah, with the 1.5 update, when you finish a certain part, you are able to go to this extra like island thing and explore that as well.
That's cool. I haven't quite got to that part yet. I made a new farm because you know you could have like the new one that's on the beach with the
Yeah.
update. Yeah, so I tried that and I was like, yeah, I'm not really vibing on the beach. Like it's nice, but that's not my favorite starting ground. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm right there with you. I haven't done a full completion run, and man, I've been playing that game for years and years now.
It's
That's a really ambitious goal to do. That's awesome that you're doing that.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting, especially with YouTube, because like with difference between YouTube and Twitch. With Twitch you can stream for hours on end, and then on YouTube you have to like record a video and then like cut it down so much shorter because people on YouTube prefer things that are a lot shorter. They prefer things that are 10 to 20 minutes long, and I'm like, I'll how about 30 minutes? That's the best I got for you.
It's hard. That's a lot of editing.
It
That's a
is.
skill that I have not quite nailed down yet.
I'm learning as I go, and the last like 3 months of not just my YouTube, but like doing like Twitter clips and stuff. I've been learning with editing, and it's been a huge pain, but I'm learning, and I'm like trying to teach myself, and that I think that's why it's so much more of a pain, is that I'm teaching myself with it.
Yeah. It's definitely going to stick though when you do it that way. So
Yes, for sure.
proud of you for
Started
going at it.
Stardew was actually one of my first things that I streamed. The first thing I ever streamed was Sims, and
Cute.
then the second day I streamed was Stardew, and I streamed Stardew for like 3 months straight.
I first thing I ever streamed, I got banned for playing actually. I don't know
What?
if I've ever told you this story, Glam.
Oh
Oh
my
no.
god!
Okay, so okay, once upon a time, I wasn't intending on streaming at all. My friend was, and I was like, okay, let me help you get set up. I'll help you get set up on your stream. I'll walk you through it. We'll figure out. I think we're trying to figure out XSplit at the time. I had no intention of streaming. I made my account just to help her out, and I just clicked. When you start your stream, you choose what game title to choose. I
Mm-hmm.
chose a game that's on the banned list. Like, I wasn't planning on playing this game at all. I was just setting it up to go live, and they had an option to choose a game that was banned, but I didn't know it was banned. I just chose a game. So the first game that it shows on Twitch that I ever played was a banned game, and I sent my link out to a couple of friends, and they're like, "Stream who? It's not there, Nicole. Are you banned?" Sure enough, I got banned first time I
Oh
ever
my
went live.
god. Oh my
And then
god.
hilarious. So yeah, anybody listening, make sure you check the list of banned games. That's a thing, and don't do what I did. Don't do what I did.
Am I allowed
But
to ask what game it was?
it was a game called Honey Pop, which
Oh.
is if you know what this game is, it's basically like a puzzle waifu dating game, and it's pretty scandalous. None of the game was ever shown. It was just that I chose it from the drop down, and that was enough for like it to get flagged.
Oh
So
my god. Oh my god. We
it
were
was
talking
hilarious though.
about banned games last week because of we were talking about games that we kind of regret streaming or whatever, and the game that I chose last week was Doki Doki Literature Club. Um,
Oh yeah.
and because I had never seen any gameplay or heard of the game itself because I was so like naive is not the right word, but essentially that's kind of what it was. I had no idea about the game, and so I had streamed it, and I closed it before the end of before the last part of it, the last half of it, and we were talking about if that was a banned game or not because somebody had said that it was, but I don't think it is because there's the plus coming out or whatever.
I don't think it's a banned game either.
I don't think so because I was able
I
to play it.
Yeah, I played the whole thing on stream actually as well.
Yeah.
But before I made the move to playing more family friendly Animal Crossing and
Mhm.
Nintendo related games, I was very variety and just
Mhm.
playing whatever I had. And a friend suggested it. That game is really heavy, and
It is.
especially going into it and not knowing anything about it at all,
Mhm.
that was a really hard game to play on stream.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of glad that I played it on stream versus playing it alone in my house because
Mhm.
I went through every stage of grief playing that game, and I'm looking forward to playing the expansion later. But I don't think I'll play that one on stream. I think that I'll have to play that with some friends
Yeah.
offline.
Especially since you know what you're expecting to when you go into it.
Oh,
um,
absolutely.
it's different because like some people would say that kind of the same, not completely, but some of the same things with like Life is Strange. But I personally knew what I was getting myself into when I came into it because people told me, hey, by the way, this part and this part and this part has trigger warnings, just letting you know. So we would consistently say, hey, by the way, trigger warning, if you're not in a good spot, leave now. And we would consistently say that in the chat so that way people knew before it would come up in the episode.
That's good. That I think that's a more appropriate way to do it.
Hmm.
Getting blindsided by a game and not knowing what is to come. You can't really trigger warning if you don't
If you
know
don't know
where it
what's
is.
coming, yeah, especially because of my friend, not my friends actually. It was some viewers in the chat were just kept saying, "Oh, she just thinks it's this cute uwu game," and I was like, "Well, it is so far. Like, who
Mhm.
are we gonna go for?" And then I was like, "Never mind, just kidding,
Yep.
just
Did
kidding."
you did you get the bots who came into your chat? Like I had a bunch of really random bots who would come in and just say like, only Monica, just like
I
constantly.
did.
It
I
was
had
so
a
weird.
couple of them. It was so weird. I was not I was like, I don't understand what your problem is, but okay. Also, my cat came back.
Hi, Patfoot. Hi, little cutie. Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
I.
my cat is in the other room. He's been super affectionate this morning and just wanting to play constantly. And he has a string that he'll bring me when he wants to play, and I had to close the door. I'm like, it would have been the podcast of Howl if I would have kept him on the
Oh my
opposite note.
god. See, and right now it's becoming Padfoot's podcast because he is about to lay on my keyboard.
I mean,
Yet
it's his
again.
keyboard,
It
so
it it very much is. I have many pictures of him just laying on it. Okay.
cute.
Okay. I just don't want you to push the record button. That's all I care about.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
That was his tail. Okay. So a couple questions.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Going with your content creation journey. So where did you get your start with did you start with Twitch, or did you go ahead and start somewhere else?
So, as far as like content creation goes, I used to really dabble on Instagram.
Mhm.
I before I ever did streaming, I was really active in the cosplay community. That was my thing, was creating costumes, going to conventions, like several a year. Oh my gosh, Padman's so cute. um, look at him go. I started with cosplay, and I still cosplay occasionally. It's not as like as big of a priority as it once was. That used to be
Mhm.
like my whole life, was looking forward to conventions and which costume I was going to make, and
Yes.
I miss it. I do miss it. I do miss it. It's a very fun but very expensive hobby. Um, that's where I started out with content creation, was on Instagram, and then I noticed my friend Gina, she wanted to branch out and like try streaming,
Mhm.
because we're both big nerds. We both play a lot of games,
Mhm.
and I lived like 5 hours away from her, so we kind of thought that it would be a good way to keep us connected when we live so far away.
Yeah.
So I tried getting her set up, and then I got banned. And then I think about a year after that, I actually moved down closer to where she lives.
Mhm.
And then I tried streaming again. I went to PAX that year, PAX West in Seattle, and I saw
Yeah.
connected with other people who had streamed, and they looked like they were just having a blast. I saw the partner lounge that Twitch had at PAX, and I was like, "That's really bougie. I want to do that. How do I do that?"
That's cool because now you can actually do that. Like you can
Yeah,
actually
that's
go to
true.
that.
That's so true. I don't think it exists anymore since Twitch started doing their own TwitchCon. I don't think
Mhm.
that they have their own like little lounge anymore at PAX, but I remember 2 years ago I was like, I want to go there. I'm gonna be in that lounge someday. That was like my goal to myself. And then last year, with the pandemic, it wasn't a
Mhm.
thing anymore. And now I don't think it's actually gonna be a thing anymore with TwitchCon, but
Mhm.
I'm still like proud of past Nicole. Like, hey, you set that goal, you did it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't think TwitchCon's gonna happen this year, but
Yeah.
maybe next year. Hopefully, if everything starts, with everything going on, it's just hopefully, as long as everything goes on the right path here, we
True.
can potentially go to a TwitchCon next year.
Yeah. Have you ever been before?
I have not. And as an introvert, it's very kind of difficult for me to actually want to go.
Yeah.
Um, I'd be able to go, but I'd probably end up having to go to like my hotel room multiple times, or go outside multiple times so I could breathe a little bit. But I think it's something that I could definitely do. I'd probably end up taking like my sister or something because she would probably, because she's the extrovert of the family, so she'd be like dragging me, being like, "Yeah, let's go see your friends," and I'm like,
Aw. It's a good sis though, looking out for you. Sounds
that's
like you
what
got a
she
good
do.
balance there.
Oh yeah. So, question about the whole banning thing. Is it this like you got banned and then did you like get unbanned, or did you
Yeah,
have to?
yeah.
Okay.
I think it was like a 3 day. I think it was a suspension, not like a
Oh,
perma
okay.
ban or anything like that.
Got
I
it. Got
think
it.
they're
I was
like,
like just thinking about that. I was like, did she like create a whole new thing or?
no. No, but I was so worried though when I applied for partner that I'm like, are they gonna hold this against me? Oh no, I was such a wee baby streamer. I had no idea what I was doing. I was so nervous. It took me a few times to apply and get through for partners. So
Mhm.
when the first time I got my rejection, I was like, because I streamed Honey Pop, isn't it? It's because I streamed Honey
Oh
Pop.
no.
Fool. No, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that they held that over me. So
No,
thank goodness.
definitely. They probably didn't even see it, honestly. They were like, oh, this person was banned once. Let's see what it was. Or suspended or whatever. Let's see why.
Yeah.
And then they decided to like, oh, it was like their first time ever. And, you know.
Yeah, I
Honestly,
think it's
I think I've only had one strike against me for anything, which was I had my rage emote I was putting in before it was um the auto what is that called?
approval for
Yeah,
emotes.
auto approval. There
Yeah.
we go. Before auto approval was okay with affiliates. Um I had my rage emote and it said FAC right at the top, like FACK. And I
Hmm.
was like, I thought that it would be okay. Obviously, it was not okay because it got denied. And then I wasn't able to do the auto approval when it rolled out for like 3 extra months.
Oh, okay.
So I had to like wait for all of my emotes to actually be approved for the ones that, because I redid the emote, but I couldn't like get it approved for like 3 months because of it.
Bummer, but you're back on auto approval now, and it's
Oh
all
yeah, it was like it was
good.
right when the auto approval started, so it was like last year or something when they rolled that out. Um, but yeah, I think that's the only thing I have against me. I'm waiting for like a copyright strike of some sort because my sub alerts, I just recently changed them a little bit, and I have two songs that could potentially be uh copyright striked, but we'll see.
That's yeah, that one's a hard one to navigate.
Mhm.
Um, I remember when like the height of the DMCA things were happening. I deleted every clip. I offloaded a lot of them, but like in my panic, I kicked myself about this as I got rid of a lot of clips that I wish I would have saved. I didn't know there was a way to like mass download them at first,
Mhm.
so that sucks. That's a lot of good memories that are gone. But
Yeah. I did not get rid of a bunch of them, which is actually kind of interesting because I do have quite a few like Christmas songs ones that I have where I was like just jamming to Christmas songs a couple of years ago, and I haven't gotten any strikes on those yet. I mean, now that I'm talking about it, I'm sure Twitch has been putting a little ear to it, being like, "Oh, you got some stuff you got there. Let me check it
yeah,
out."
knock on wood. I hope that they don't come for you.
All right. Um, but yeah, so uh oh god, brain. Where does your inspiration stem from for like all of your stuff with Twitch and content creating in general?
Oh man. Honestly, when I first started streaming, it was really just a way for me to connect with old friends and friends
Mhm.
who had lived in different states. And it really just became like, I didn't want to play games alone, especially like solo games. It's more fun to play with friends. Like at the time, Stardew Valley wasn't a multiplayer game.
Mhm.
So it was fun to be able to share that experience and talk with other people who were excited about the same games that I was. When I first started streaming, I think it was like close to almost 5 years ago is when I first played Stardew Valley on stream.
Mhm.
So it's been a long, long run. A lot of ups and downs, lots of big breaks in between. But yeah, it was really started on his way, just like connect with people and like learn more about the game that I really enjoyed.
Mhm.
I've been playing video games for gosh, the most of my life. Both of my parents are really big gamers.
Yep.
My
Oh
dad loves.
god.
Are your parents gamers too?
Yes. Well, my
Ah!
dad is, and my mom is like she really loves playing Animal Crossing and Zelda.
Same with my mom.
So like I'm able to like go over to her island and whatnot. We did a whole stream on 420 because my mom's a big pot smoker as well. That we're from because it's Washington, so like that's what we do here.
I
And
forgot.
she,
Wait, I'm a Washingtonian too.
yeah, we're
Okay,
state
I forgot that you're from.
sisters.
That's why we are state sisters. I forgot that you're a
Yeah,
Washingtonian. That's awesome.
yeah, so my mom is very big into that, but my dad's been a gamer since since the Nintendo came out. He was at that door buying it when it came out, sort of thing, and he kept going on with that. He doesn't play games as much as he used to, and he's the type of gamer that's like games are too easy nowadays, sort of thing. But I get it. I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, it's like they're trying to make it more enjoyable for because he's an OG Nintendo fan. So going from the platforming with Super Mario Bros. And then going to Super Mario Odyssey nowadays, it's a lot easier to get past through a lot of things compared to what it used to be. Ugh.
True. It's different. It's definitely different.
Mm-hmm.
My dad
But
was the same way too. He doesn't play as many modern games anymore.
mm-hmm.
I got him like the SNES Classic, and he plays that. Um,
Yes.
but he's who got me into playing games. Actually, my most recent game that I played on Switch was Ocarina of Time. Ocarina
Yes.
of Time is like the game that made me so in love with video games. I remember my 7th birthday, my dad brought home a Nintendo 64, and I
Mm-hmm.
woke up in the morning and he already beat the first 2 dungeons, and he was running through Hyrule Field, and I remember seeing all the stall children and just being really freaked out. And I was like, "What the heck are you doing?" And he's just like, "Oh, sorry. This is your birthday present, but I already started playing it." I was like, "Okay, great. Can we start it over?" So we did, and we got to the part where you first see Princess Zelda, and right there in that moment, I was like, I had him pause the game, and I got out my sketchbook, and I started tracing over her on the TV, and just drawing Zelda, and just totally enamored by her and the whole lore of Hyrule, and it was game over, like, or I guess just game beginning at that
Yeah.
point. I
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to play that recently. I played it all the way through on stream, and I think it was the first time that I played and seen the very ending of it in, oh my gosh, close to 20 years.
That's so exciting. I've been adding more of those games into my stream because that's also where I got my start was Nintendo 64. And so like I really have been trying to start getting my way towards those games again. Um because I'm one of those rage quit kind of people where I literally get so angry and I will just like completely stop the game and will not play it for like months on end. So as you saw, a week ago, I actually finished Super Mario Galaxy, which was the first time I had ever finished that game, and it was really exciting experience. So I was really excited to go forward from that. So I did a bunch of voting, and everyone voted on Wind Waker. So I'm working on Zelda Wind Waker.
I love that game too. I'm so glad that we got to raid you at the end of your Galaxy playthrough. That
It
was
was
so
a
cool.
it was perfect too because I was like the whole thing was so chaotic. I was like screaming. I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry everybody, but I can't even focus." Like
Oh no, it was perfect. It was so fun watching you beat that. So
uh,
cool.
it was such a cool experience too because I was like it was the first beat to what was the first try. There we go. First try. It was a first try thing.
Nice. That's huge.
So right, I didn't think I was gonna be able to get a first try on the big boss man there,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was lots of fun. So I'm really excited to bring that back in and bring some older games back into my roster instead of just the Animal Crossing and Dead by Daylight that I've been playing.
Oh, Dead by Daylight. My mods are trying to get me to play it. I have it downloaded. I just haven't really dabbled in it yet.
Hmm.
I played a game called Home Sweet Home Survivor. That's
Oh yeah,
pretty
yeah,
similar. Yeah,
it's
it's
very
fun.
similar. The only thing that's different is that it's you don't try to kill the killer in Dead by Daylight.
Oh, okay, okay.
Honestly, my suggestion for you with Dead by Daylight, this is what I did anyway, is to watch other streamers play it. Um, particular particularly people that are actually good at the game and see what they're doing because I'm terrible at the game, and so where I'm at in the because like ranking system is kind of like garbage, but like what I've gotten is just because I play the game a whole lot. But I can send you later some people that you could watch that would be I think a good learning experience because they actually teach while they're playing the game. But Dead by Daylight is a really fun game. It's not everybody's cup of tea, which is why like Animal Crossing and then like Dead by Daylight, my numbers are always kind of wonky because I started with cozy games. I played Stardew and Animal Crossing and all those cozy type games, and then like last year around this time, I just like swapped over to Dead by Daylight because I was just having so much fun with it offline that I was like, I'm gonna do it online now, and I'm like, this is gonna hurt.
It's really hard. It
Mhm.
definitely it takes a toll as a content creator. I know you feel this.
Mhm.
For so long leading up to attaining partnership, I really just tried to play Animal Crossing because not only is a game that I love, but I knew that it was a game that the community just really enjoyed, and that's where like strength in numbers came from. And
Mhm.
I think a lot of people, variety is hard. It's a very
Mhm.
challenging way to approach Twitch to see consistent growth.
Mhm.
But on the flip side, like man, burnout is real. If you're just grinding the same game in and out, like
Mhm.
burnout is so real. So spicing it up and playing other games is just for the content creator's sake, I think is really healthy.
Mhm.
So switching to play more variety, I know has really helped me mentally.
Mhm.
And it's nice. And maybe you're not attracting exactly the same audience. At the same time, maybe you're introducing that audience to a new game too that they might enjoy. I've had some
That's
community members
definitely.
who never played Pokemon. Then we
Mhm.
played some Pokemon, and now they're really into it. So that's cool. It's kind of scary though venturing out. So
Mhm.
I'm
It is
glad that
very
you.
scary.
I'm glad you did that.
Yeah, I'm with the whole with what you're saying with introducing the game to other people. That's kind of what I did. I literally like I introduced so many people to Dead by Daylight that like now they're playing it all the time too now. So it's not just me that's playing it all the time. It's my friends that are also playing it, my viewers as well. So I have people that I can play with all the time, and um so it's always nice to do that. Then you uh with Dead by Daylight, I don't typically put that I'm a streamer in my username because I don't want people to be coming in my chat and like being toxic or whatnot because sometimes they can be toxic. Um, but how I feel, I just recently changed, like literally yesterday, I changed it. I decided to change to put TTV in my um, stream title, not stream title, my Steam name, and I put that there so that way when people were done, if they wanted to say something to me, that they could come into my chat, and if they said that I was toxic or whatever, then I could explain to them, hey, by the way, I wasn't toxic. This is what happened. I mean, if you really want to start yelling at me, you can, and then at that point, ban them if I need to. Otherwise, I don't really need to, because I feel like just yelling things at people and telling them, oh, they're toxic, they're camping, they're tunneling. Like it's like you don't need to be yelling at people like that. It's like it's a game. It's a game, bruh. Just calm down.
Have
Calm
fun.
down. Yeah, just have fun. That's all we're doing is playing a game to have fun. Um, Go ahead.
Have you been playing Pokemon Unite?
I have not. I've been seeing other people play it, and I've thought about it, but I don't know if I can. If I could get into it.
It kind of reminded me because it's similar. It's a MOBA, so it's
Mhm.
similar to like League of Legends and
Mhm.
Dota. But those communities, I feel like they get a really bad reputation for having that kind of like that same thing you're describing with Dead by Daylight, like really
Mhm.
toxic players who just talk a lot of smack. And
Mhm.
that's been a big turnoff for me for playing those types of games. Because I'm a sensitive soul. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't I'm just trying to play a game. Let me live.
Mhm.
That said, I'm pretty competitive and like I'll talk smack behind the screen, but like I would never say it to somebody, I
Yeah.
ever. I don't want to ever hurt somebody's feelings.
Mhm.
Um so I like Unite because there's not like an in-game chat function.
Mhm.
Um it's made by Nintendo,
Mhm.
Pokemon and Tencent, so it's kind of like you get that competitive scene, but you don't have to deal with the community behind it. So it
Yep.
keeps it a little bit more positive, and I think that's been good for me. I've been enjoying it.
That's for sure. Yeah, I like that. I it's
Yeah.
I have been watching other people play it, so I just kind of been like vibing watching other people, especially because like Pokemon isn't one of the games that I really get into enough. I finished Sword and Shield, and that was actually the first Pokemon game that I ever finished. My husband, on the other hand, he loves Pokemon and he plays it, and so does his son. And so I just let them vibe and play those games while I go ahead and sit down to my Animal Crossing.
Cute. It's cool though. And
Right.
congrats on finishing Sword and Shield. I liked it. I really liked that game a lot.
It was fun. I really liked it. I really
Mhm.
enjoyed it. I just don't know if I could. I think I could play Pokemon games as like just finishing the story and then calling it good, um, and not doing like all the outside quests and stuff like that. Doing like finishing the Pokédex and what? Oh God, no! I was going to. I was like, I'm gonna finish the Pokédex, and then I started, and I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm gonna I'm gonna go.
Yep. Hey, that's like a beautiful thing about Pokemon though, is like there's not like a one size fits all. This is the way that you have to play the game. There's
Mhm.
so many ways that you can play and enjoy the game. Like some people are really into shiny hunting, some people
Mhm.
are really into collecting, and some people are just here to enjoy the story, and that's okay.
Mhm. And the storylines is always so much fun to do. Not just with Pokemon, but with like any kind of game too.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely like a big story based game. Like that's what I love. I
Mhm.
love seeing those cutscenes. Like that's what I like about farming sims is I live to get those cutscene moments. Those are my favorite things about those
Mhm.
games.
Every time in Stardew, when a cutscene happens, I literally just go cutscene, cutscene,
Same,
cutscene.
same. I swoon. I'm like, oh, this is the best. Let's go.
It's like, especially when I'm streaming, I was like, it's a cutscene, cutscene. Everybody, shh, quiet. Just kidding. It's
Exactly.
just me. It's just me.
So on the note about Stardew, who's your favorite character? Who's your ultimate waifu or husbando? Who do you go for?
um, I okay. When I first started playing Stardew on stream, it was the first time I had ever played Stardew ever. I'm sure people who listen to this podcast are probably tired of me saying stuff like this because I say it quite often. But it's the first time I ever played it, so I had no idea. I didn't see any gameplay, anything like that. And I went through and I just went for the first person I saw, and I kind of was like, "Huh, Shane. I like Shane. He's kind of an asshole." And and so I kept talking to him and I kept handing him beer after beer after beer and I kept
Nice.
doing that and then I actually saw his cutscenes and I was just like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have been giving him beer. Oops. Uh, but Shane is my first and my first husbando, and then waifus I would have to probably say Leah is one of my favorites. That
Same.
and Emily.
Oh, they're all great. I haven't done a Shane playthrough yet, but everybody says that Shane and Haley are
Hmm.
pretty like rough up front, but have like beautiful emotional like storylines to go with them.
Hmm.
So I'm very driven. Also, doesn't he get you like blue chickens or something like that?
Yes, but you don't have to actually date him to get those. You just have to get 8 hearts with him to get the blue
Mm.
chickens. I
Okay,
think
cool.
that's why I started theirs because I think somebody in my chat at the time was like, "Hey, if you marry Shane, you can get blue chickens," and I was like, "Blue chickens?
Sign me
Sign
up.
sign me up right now. Let's go. How do I woo Shane?"
My first playthrough, I wooed over Harvey because I saw that the item to make him fall in love with you was coffee. And I was like,
Yes.
yeah, same. Just give me coffee and I'll marry you. Like, that works. Perfect. I relate. Let's go.
Perfect. Although Harvey, I thought about it, and then I found someone told me that Harvey still charges you if you get downed in the mine, and I was like, that is a horrible husband. I'm not doing that. Get
Yeah, he
out of
absolutely
here.
does. He absolutely takes your cash, even if you die, if you pass out in the mine and you're married. 100%. I like to think that he puts it in like a nice little savings for me. He's investing it for my future, you
He's
know?
in perfect.
That's
I love
fine.
it.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Exactly. It's kind of like how people feel with Shane. People don't like Shane because he's so much of an I guess an alcoholic that people are like, "Oh, he's just such an asshole and he's an alcoholic. That's what, he's so mean. Why would you like him?" And I'm just like, I honestly don't know. I think it was just the blue chickens at this point. But his story is so good. It's one of my favorites. I've been going through the stories recently. and I've seen pretty much all of them because I watch other people's playthroughs on YouTube quite often. And I just saw all of the cutscenes of each of them one time, and I was just like, these are really good storylines. Like, Stardew has some good plots and good stories and stuff.
To play a Shane playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
You already inspired me. Like how you're doing a 100% completion run of Stardew. I want to do the same thing now. Like I absolutely do.
Yes, do it. Oh, I'm so excited. That Stardew and Animal Crossing just kind of helped me through a lot.
Yeah.
With I didn't play a whole lot of New Leaf like most people that started off with New Leaf. I started off with Wild World. I played Wild World and played City Folk. My mom was playing City Folk a lot while I was playing Wild World on the couch. And when New Leaf came out, I was out of the house by that point, and I was playing New Leaf. But I also had no idea about like paths and patterns or anything like that, because where my parents live, they kind of live out in the like outskirts of where where we were at, so they don't have internet access. So like I had kind of a different kind of childhood with things that I didn't get the internet access in my high school years. So I didn't know anything about pathings or anything like that until after, when I left my parents' house. And by that point, everyone was tired of playing Animal Crossing New Leaf, and I was ready for whatever was coming up next. So when New Horizons came out, it was very, very big. And New Horizons is literally the reason why I started streaming before it even came out.
Oh, glad that you did, Glam. No, for reals. I think you're an awesome content creator, and I'm glad that you had that push in your. That's so great. I love that.
Don't do this to me.
I'm just telling you the truth.
Oh God!
Yay, Animal Crossing! Bring your friends together.
Literally, though, it brought so many people together. It's absolutely insane. You earlier you said you were talking about bringing that you played more Animal Crossing to start working on the partnership, to push it a little bit more, and I've talked about this before, is that some people have been denied partnership because they were doing too much variety. Is that something you kind of saw, or is it like is that why you decided to go for more Animal Crossing?
I don't know about that. I just noticed that there was more like excitement from the community playing Animal Crossing, because it was a game that we were all really connected over. And I think especially with the pandemic and the time that the game came out, there was something that we were all really bonding over. A lot of really beautiful memories were forged in my community by playing that game. And I even though I don't play it as much anymore, I still think it's going to be a really big part of who I am as a streamer, and like definitely still going to play it when I can, occasionally, because I'm enjoying doing the variety now. But I noticed that was something that was working well, and so I stuck with it. And I'm glad that we did it that way. It worked out. I didn't just Animal Crossing New Horizons was not the first Animal Crossing game that I streamed on Twitch. I know that was like a big game that a lot of people first started streaming with, but I had been streaming New Leaf for over a year before I started playing New Horizons on stream too. So Animal Crossing has been like in my blood, super, super important.
Yeah.
I know we're supposed to ignore chat, but
I know.
Anybody who's listening to this on podcast space or on YouTube, we just got a massive gift sub from Vince. Vince, thank you for gifting that to Glam's community. Glam is amazing,
so
and
really
she deserves every bit of it.
Ow, Jesus, my cat is attacking me now.
Oh my gosh, Padfoot! Vince,
just
thank
like,
you
you're
for
not
that.
paying attention to me. Vince, thank you so much for those 5 gifted subs. I really appreciate that. I obviously, you saw my face. I was just like, what just happened here?
What do I do?
happened. Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
I don't
Um,
think that switching to variety or playing like other games, like
mhm,
I've never heard about somebody getting denied partnership for playing too much variety. You know, I think if you're able to hold the numbers and you're able to
mhm,
hit the criteria still and you're able to do variety, I
mhm,
think you still have a great shot at being partnered for sure. I think it's just harder though, because you know, some people really only come to Twitch to like watch a specific game.
mhm,
You get those core people though who are there for your content and you only. But there are those people who are like, I really just want to watch Animal Crossing today. That's what I need.
mhm,
That's my cozy game after work. That's what I'm watching.
mhm.
So yeah, I think for every person, you gotta just kind of figure out what works best for your channel.
For sure. I was I heard it was more of like a I heard from a friend of a friend of a friend sort of thing that they were having issues of getting partnership because they were doing variety streaming, and then that's why they just kind of cut to another game and just kind of kept playing that game for so long. um, and so I that's why I was asking you that, because I wanted to get kind of another aspect of it from somebody who I know who has done and has been doing a lot of variety streaming.
I don't think it's impossible. I think variety streaming definitely has these challenges though.
Oh yeah, for sure. That was
But
that is something that I have talked about before, where we did talk about the fact that variety streaming is kind of difficult to deal with, because sometimes you don't know what your community is kind of looking forward to. If are they looking forward to, or sometimes you do know what they're looking forward to, and then you decide to change it up, and you're like, well, crap, what am I gonna do? Because now my numbers are lower again. And honestly, I've been doing. I changed my schedule this last couple of weeks. Actually, kind of like the last month or so. I've changed my schedule so that I would play Animal Crossing once a week, and then I would play Dead by Daylight once a week, as well as whatever extra game I was playing. So I've been doing a lot of variety streaming, um, along with the podcast, and so I feel like my numbers are very like slowly inching up again, and it's kind of making me feel a little bit better about the fact that I've changed how I do things, and how I've been adding my games back into everything. And so it's been really uh it's been kind of difficult the past the past little bit, because I've been like looking at my number just kind of stagnant. It's not going up, it's not going down, it's just straight almost, and I'm like, where am I going with this? And I've been learning with my small curve that I do have, what I'm seeing and what I'm trying to go for.
I think you're doing awesome things to put yourself in a good position for growth. You're diversifying your content. You're making things for YouTube. You're doing a podcast. You're
Mm-hmm.
sticking to a schedule. I think that even if you're not playing the same game, if you're setting a schedule and you're sticking to it and you're being consistent, like that right there is like you're gonna grow. And
I've
I
been
think
working so hard on that schedule.
it's hard. It's really hard. I'm really proud of myself. I stuck really hard to a schedule for a long time, but I've been, challenges of having a chronic illness is that sometimes it really just it kicks you.
Mhm.
And I've been really sick the last month. So
Mhm.
um that's a hard one to navigate.
Mhm.
Sticking to a schedule though, and like if you're saying even if you're playing different games, but having those set days for what you're playing, that's something
Mhm.
that people can get like hyped up and amped and ready to play and
Mhm.
watch you do. So I think you're doing great, Glim. I'm excited for you. I'm glad that you're doing multiple things too, because that's you're opening up your horizons for different communities to come into.
Thank you. I
That's
really
another
appreciate
plus.
that.
Yeah, no problem.
as,
No
someone,
problem.
as someone was saying, I'm not crying, you're crying.
No.
So the topic that you chose was community building. Um, is there something you want to bounce off with that? Like, is there something you want to start off with that?
Oh, sure, yeah. I was talking to a friend of mine actually recently about this. She's a new streamer, and I was modding for her channel. And I remember when you're first starting streaming and you're noticing every single person who's there in your chat. and the difference between having one person and getting rid of a person if they say something bad. I remember in the beginning stages you feel really bad about banning people because you're like, well, now my numbers are going down.
Mm-hmm.
um, but I think about a big reason why my community is the way that it is. um, I really feel like our communities on Twitch are a reflection of us and
Mm-hmm.
who we are as people.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that my community is really uplifting and positive, and I can't help but feel like I've helped curate that in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing like what my values are, what I stand for, what is not appropriate, but what is okay and welcomed in our community. If there's somebody who's going across that line or breaking the rules or making somebody feel uncomfortable, they're out of there. No questions asked. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
I when at the beginning I would feel really bad about banning people because I'm like, okay, I only have 5 people watching. If I ban this person, I only have 4, and that's there's not really many people here, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to do it. But if you don't, if somebody is crossing those boundaries and not respecting your community and your rules, the people that you care about who are in that community aren't going to want to stay around because there is that toxicity that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for anybody starting out, don't be afraid to know what you're about and stand by that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
your community is a really big reflection of who you are as a person, who you are as a streamer. So stand firm to that. Good people will come and they will stick around, but not if you have bad apples, spoiling the fun for Twitch.
Exactly. You don't want people ruining it.
No,
You don't want
not at
people to
all.
ruin the vibe. Don't ruin my vibe.
Yeah, just come on, don't harsh my mellow. I'm having a good time here. Get out.
Exactly. Um, yeah, I think that's something I've been kind of learning within this because I've been streaming for 2 years now,
Mhm.
almost 2.5, and the first year was a lot of me just like bringing people in and like I only banned people because like a friend told me, hey, this person did this in my chat, ban them, and I was like, okay, cool, and I banned them. um, and but I had no I didn't know anything about it, and I just kind of kept going with it. I've been learning. I'm trying to think of the right ways to say this. I've been learning to be my own person in a way,
Yeah.
figuring out where I stand on a lot of things, and making sure that I put out those vibes and tell people how I feel about certain things. Um, and I think I had somebody come in and asked, I can't remember what it was now. It was something kind of, it seemed like it was nice to begin with, and then it like switched into uncomfortable. And then I was like, that's not okay. And then I said that to them, and immediately. And um, luckily, my mods saw my uncomfortableness, and they saw what I was doing, and they were like ready for it, but they were like waiting for it because they knew that I wanted to say something to them before they were banned. Even though that people, when you're banned, you can still see things that are on the stream, but you still want to like, I still want to tell them what they're saying and like maybe see their reaction, because maybe their reaction is going to be kind of like, oh, I see what you're saying, I'm very sorry that I made you uncomfortable, and then
Hmm.
like come back from it. But they were ready for it. They did make it even more uncomfortable, so I was like, okay, you're out, bye bye.
Yeah.
But I think it had something to do with like pronouns, and then like said, because I had the bisexual uh tag on at the time, and so then they're like asking me my pronouns, and then they kind of went off from that. I think that's what it was. It was relatively recent, but I feel like I've been trying to learn where my what a stopper is. Where I'm not sure what the word is, but like where I feel like people need to stop, or where I need to ban people and stuff like that, other than what other people are telling me. My mods are very good at understanding where boundaries. Thank you. Oh my god.
Hmm.
I'm like the stopper, the thing.
No, yeah, for sure. Setting your boundaries, and
Yeah.
everybody has it different. So, like,
Yeah.
what your friends ban for could be
Mhm.
completely different from what you ban for.
Mhm.
Um, bottom line for me personally, if somebody makes me uncomfortable, it's not worth my time and energy to have you around.
Mhm. Right.
Because chances are, if you're making me uncomfortable, you're probably going to make everybody else in the community uncomfortable.
Mhm. For
Um,
sure.
I think it's like borderline. If you're, because sometimes it can be a teachable moment, like, hey, we don't really talk about that kind of thing in chat,
Mhm.
that kind of thing. Because some people are just, unaware of what's appropriate to
Mhm.
talk about in Twitch chat. Some things are really obvious. This is breaking TOS. You're being harmful and disruptive. This is
Oh
not
yeah.
okay. You need to leave.
Mhm.
Those are obvious bans.
Right.
Some things are a little bit more nuanced though, and I
Mhm.
think that really comes down to like what you stand
What
for
your
and like,
yeah, what your vibe
yeah,
is.
yeah, definitely.
Um I think I've had somebody come in my chat before where they said cuz I said something about my husband and you know, then they saw the bisexual tag and they they went with and how does your husband feel about that? I'm like, my husband's the one that found out. Like, he knew before I did. Like, where are you trying to go with this? Like, I don't think we care here.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be like, I think that's a big old red flag for me. I'd be like,
That's
yeah, no.
yeah. That I think right after that we ended up banning them. But oh, it left my brain. It left my brain. I had something. Oh,
Get the catch it.
I know. And then my cat decides to almost fall off my desk again.
Oh my gosh, Padfoot. Your closed captions are cracking me up, by the way.
Oh, I know. The closed captions are always very interesting. I've said some things that are very questionable.
I said okay earlier, and it
Mhm.
said that I said death. I'm like, hello.
I think I said okay earlier and it said kilo and I was like, I don't even know what kilo is, but okay. And it wasn't that one. It was KELO, not KILO. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't the foggiest.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know either, but closed captionings are always funny.
It's very true. It's doing its
It's as
best.
close as I can get currently. I've been working on some other ones as well. Okay, I understand that you are hungry, but you do not have to hit things with that. Thank you. He's you don't have to be such a nuisance today. Okay, it's
Talking
fine.
about community building, I think that we both have very different, like, our stream styles are pretty different. Um, I know your stream is a little bit more geared for like adult, like,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
is great, which is fun, and it's mine. I've turned into more family friendly content, but
Mhm,
that said, of the things that we allow in chat are going to be a little bit different, but really,
mhm,
again, it just comes down to like, what are your boundaries, like what is appropriate, what's okay by you. Because
mhm,
I think having good moderation, having your mods be on the same page with you and like what are your values, makes all the difference. Them recognizing when you are starting to feel uncomfortable, I think that's a great sign that your mods like have your back. That makes all the difference in the world of streaming, because you never know, there are some crazy people on the internet
for
and
sure.
streaming can be dangerous, so having good moderation makes a huge difference.
It
We're
really
just trying to be
does.
out here playing games, like, come on.
Right? We're just trying to play our games and see, I swear the bot is listening every
Yeah.
time I say
Yep.
something about not being family friendly. Like, but yes, like you said, we have different. You're more family friendly, and I am a very very mature stream. I literally say, like my bot says, if you are not. If you are under the age of 18, it's kind of like a don't ask, don't tell. If you are under the age of 18 and you come into my chat, you cannot like say that you are under the age of 18. We also have a no age talk rule in my Twitch chat as well as my Discord chat. That way we don't deal with any of that because I I don't want to deal with children.
Age talk too, and I think it really just comes down to safety because
Yeah.
I think with the types of games that I stream, of
Mhm.
course there are going to be kids there, of course,
Mhm.
but we have TOS for a reason, and we also know that the internet is a dangerous place, and literally anybody can be here on this platform. So I want to make sure that my community is safe, and
Mhm.
so it's just rather not, let's not discuss it. I don't want to put anybody at risk for,
Exactly.
being targeted. Nope,
Mhm.
not at all. I feel
Exactly.
really protective of my community. So protective of my community. I care
Of
about them
course.
so much. And I'm like, I will not let anybody hurt you.
Yes.
Like, Mama Bear comes out a little bit, Mama Bee. So,
I love
yeah,
that.
no, it's so important to me.
It is, well, it is very important because like you and I are I believe around the same age. And so like we both grew up with like the whole internet just, you know, rising to a point where it was like your parents are like, don't go on the internet. It's, you know, that's where strangers, don't meet strangers on the internet. And then here we are, you know, meeting strangers on the internet.
My
But
God, don't get into a car with somebody. Literally call somebody on Uber to go pick me up. Like, absolutely, no, that was definitely a big shift for me. Like, everything my mom said was stranger
exactly.
danger.
It's all changing. It's the
Yeah.
whole like you're never gonna have a calculator in your pocket when you grow up. Well, I do now. I've got
Yeah,
my
I've got an
phone.
encyclopedia too, so
Exactly. Things have changed since then, and but we've been through some of the stuff that has happened on the internet. Yes, I said that I wasn't online a lot because my parents didn't have internet, but just because my parents didn't have internet, I had friends. My friends
yeah,
had internet, and I went over to their house, and you know, we've seen some things.
we have seen some things, that's for
I
sure.
mean, like Omegle and stuff like that, or
Oh yeah.
Omegle, and like
We were there
protecting.
before YouTube was a thing. Like,
Yeah,
that's showing some
right.
age here, but like definitely like we've seen
Exactly.
the rise of the internet. We know what dial up is. Like, we
Oh
know.
God.
Yeah, no, internet, yeah, no, definitely. And the dangers of the internet are still there.
Mhm.
I think that that's kind of something that's forgotten a little bit because we
Mhm.
have really positive interactions as well, but that doesn't mean that the dark side of the internet is not there. And that's something that I am very aware of and something that I really, really make an effort to protect my community because I know.
Because yeah, we know that there's the big bads out there, and we don't want them to be um, taken advantage of
Yeah.
and whatnot. I get
And
that.
even being a good kid and like listening to my parents about the warnings and stuff that they put into place, I still
Mhm.
had some sketchy interactions.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Me
so
too.
that's definitely like Mama Bear, like really big sister protective because I know what can happen and it's can be quite scary.
Mhm. For sure. Um. Uh. Going back to the family friendly, not family friendly thing. Um. Not just the age thing for my stream, but as you've noticed, I have a mouth of a sailor. I think it has to do with the fact that like my mom was like when my mom and dad have the mouth of a sailor as well, probably worse. And when I've always heard it, but they were always, those are big people words, don't use them. Got it.
Mm.
Won't use big
Hmm.
people words. I never said any of those words around them, around my friends. I never said any of those words. And then when I turned 18, my mom looked at me and said, "You are allowed to use those big people words." And I was at this time a senior in high school. And
Open
I
the
was like,
floodgates.
and then I was like, okay. And so I said one word, and my mom was like, my baby's growing up. She swore. And I'm like, you're not the typical mom. And like, I understand that that's cool and all, but like, you're like messing up my vibe. How am I supposed to start swearing if you're going to go ahead and do it? She goes, okay, I understand. Got it. Got it. So now here I am, you know, years later, and I can't shut up now.
That's your mom. I think I remember there was like a clip of Did you surprise your mom or something?
My sister surprised us. My sister moved to California with her husband. Her husband's in the Marines.
Mm.
And so they moved down to California last year at the very, 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 very beginning of the pandemic, like right before Animal Crossing came out and everything.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and she moved down there, and she's like my best friend, and we have been like texting each other a lot, and we do a lot of FaceTime. And that day, my sister knew that my mom was going to be on my stream on 420, and we were doing kind of like a fun thing on Animal Crossing and stuff. And she kept asking me, she's like, I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. We're like, yeah, it's happening around this time. And she's like, okay, cool. She had messaged my dad that morning saying, hey, I'm flying in. Can you come pick me up and bring me over to the house? And then that clip happened where I saw in this little sliver of the window that we have here a flash of a color going right by me, and then my sister was like trying to figure out the ways as she's running for it, the ways that she's going to surprise us, like how is she going to do it. And I don't lock my door when I'm in the house. So she knew that it was going to be unlocked. She came running up, opened the door, and just was like screamed. She was just like, surprise, motherfuckers. And like, we both were
So
just
cute.
shook because we're like, what? What the fuck just happened here?
That's so pure and cute. Oh, I love that.
It was
Good
so
job,
much fun.
sis.
Literally, she did such a good job because she had hid that secret from us for 2 weeks, and that is like surprising because she tells me everything. So she was like itching to tell me
Oh yeah.
hey, I'm gonna be over there on this date. And yeah, so it was really cool. It was a really fun
Aw.
time to hang out with her then. So but yeah, that's where that came from.
That's awesome. I love how close that you and your mom and your sister are. That's really cute. That's really
it's
cute.
it's lots of fun. It's chaotic, honestly, with the three of us. And when there's not a camera on my mom, she is she's kind of the same but not at the same time. When there's a camera, she starts like being like that type of mom where it's just like, oh, I'm on camera. Okay, let me just. Okay, I'm ready.
Yep. Cute.
So like, and then my sister is the type of person that's like, oh, I'm on camera, let me just flips off camera, peace sign, the whole thing. It gets very chaotic when it's the three of us. It's kind of interesting, especially because my dad's the introvert as well of the family, and he's just, when I think I'm introverted, he's way more introverted, where I'm like, are you like you don't want to socialize at all? Okay, got it.
Aw,
Okay.
Dad. That's cool.
So,
In regards to swearing,
mhm.
swearing was not allowed in our house at all. My mother is very Catholic and very reserved.
Mhm.
They're both, my dad and her are both hilarious. My mom's very Catholic. My dad is not religious at all. He's a lead singer of a metal band. So my dad is around a different environment than my mom is. So,
Mhm.
he's used to swearing, but he's also like, absolutely don't be swearing in front of your mother. Like, don't do that. Like, have some respect. So swearing was not a thing in our house at all. I never heard them do it. I would hear my dad occasionally do it when he's around like his band buddies, but that was about it. Uh, that said, though, I off stream I do swear. I am not a family friendly 100% all the time, but I choose not to swear on stream just because I know that the games that I tend to play, there are children who
Mhm.
do watch and tune in, and I want them to be comfortable. And that's that was a personal choice, and I definitely could have gone the other way, and it could have been just
Mhm.
fine too. It's just kind of like how it happens,
Yeah.
but yeah. And I don't know, I like it. Whatever works for you. It's there's not one size fits all formula
Oh,
for
for
how it
sure.
works.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. You can do whatever the hell you want, really. I mean, if you don't want to
Yeah.
be family friendly, you don't have to be family friendly. If you want to be family friendly, you can. And that's something that's really cool about this platform. The one thing that I do pay attention to though is when it is family friendly in somebody else's stream, because like I like watch what I'm saying and I like change up words and I hope that it's not gonna get auto modded.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm just like, okay, I think this word will work for what I'm thinking of, and then I get auto modded. I would go, never mind, sorry. Let me try this again.
My auto mod is pretty intense too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get flagged, it's definitely, don't worry about it. My bad.
It's usually just the word booty. Honestly, it's
which is a shame. Okay, for being family friendly, we talk about booties all the time. So
it's totally okay to talk about booty. Booty is an okay word. It's like when you start saying ass, that's when it's not okay in a family friendly.
very true, very true. I cannot call the peaches in Animal Crossing anything but booty fruit.
Exactly.
They look like tiny butts. Like
they do. They look very juicy, okay? Like
they're
can't
so
not.
plump. They're thick.
I think when I first got my island and I found out that I had peaches, I like was screaming booty fruit. I was just like, "Oh my god, I got booty fruit! Booty fruit!"
That's so good. And I was really wanting. I wanted booty fruit because in previous games there was perfect fruit and they turned them into gold peaches.
Oh, yeah,
and I wanted gold on my island so badly, but fine.
I know they didn't do the perfect thing. I'm surprised they didn't, because they did the same thing in Pocket Camp, so I was surprised that they didn't.
Yeah, they did a lot of cool things in Pocket Camp that I was really hoping would transfer over to New Horizons. And New Horizons did a lot of really good things, but there are a lot of things that I'm very disappointed in about that game.
Mm-hmm.
So
what do you think? What do you think is going to come up in the update that they're talking about, that they're hinting at?
Is it bad that I don't even want to speculate at this point because I don't want to be disappointed?
I totally understand.
Every update, I've been like, can we get Brewster? Can I have perfect stumps? Can we have gyroids back again? Just like any of like the things that I enjoyed so much about previous games. But I'm like, part of me is like, no, Nicole, it's time to move on. This is a new game. It's gonna be different, and that's okay. Which I do believe. It's okay. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be okay. There are a lot of new things about this. But the other part of me is like, but I really miss Brewster. I love getting cozy and getting a cup of coffee in real life and then having my character get a cup of coffee and like walk around in the snow in the game. That was one of my favorite things to do in New Leaf. And I hope that happens again. But we'll see. I kind of think it's probably just going to be like maybe different end of the year firework kind of thing that's happening. That's, you know, the summer fireworks that are happening. I know they mentioned that in the new update. So maybe new items for that, maybe a new event. I'd like to see some more like multiplayer stuff happen more than anything.
For sure. I think that's something that because that's what we've talked about a few times with Animal, because a lot of the people that I talk to in podcasts is most of them have played Animal Crossing extensively, and we all have the same kind of idea, is that multiplayer where you can do fishing tourneys all you want with your friends, but that's all you got. You can't like I kind of miss the New Leaf games because I did have like my best friend, she was also playing New Leaf, and we were both playing New Leaf together in different towns because she lived in Oregon and I lived in Washington at the time. So we were playing New Leaf with each other and would play the island tours that they had there, and we would play those games. And so she still lives in Oregon and I still live in Washington, and now we can just look at each other's island for the 50th time and we're like, this is the only thing that's changed. Okay, you want to go over to my island? Okay, cool. Like, I got nothing else.
I put 4 plants. I got a new shrub. I took down my Christmas tree.
Look, I decorated this area for the first time in like the entire time I've had it.
Yeah, I feel it. Right, I played a lot of New Leaf when I was in college. So my mom and I would play it together and play island games, and that's how I kept in contact with my mom throughout college. So yeah, I miss it. I feel like island games, you know, being that we live on an island, would have been so perfect to implement, and I think that's the biggest shock to me that they didn't have in New Horizons.
And I think people coming over to our island at the beginning was so much fun, and so, like, of all of our community members coming over and whatnot, it was so exciting. But then, once we all got that burnout kind of around the same time, we all just kind of were like, eh,
Yep.
we're just gonna see
I
the
do
same
have to
thing.
say, when you don't have the games that they like are implemented already in the game,
Mm-hmm.
it definitely challenged everybody to come up with our own games and be extra creative. Like
True.
people coming over and playing hide and go seek or sardines. I hosted cosplay competitions on my island. I made a whole
Yeah.
stage area, so that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was neat watching the community really show off their stuff and be extra creative. But
We did
we
fashion shows, so yeah.
Oh, I love watching the fashion shows with the runways and the lights and stuff. Oh, that's so good.
It was so much
That's
fun
cute.
doing those. And I remember seeing your little Comic-Con that you put together, and then when you posted it on TikTok, and when it blew up on TikTok, I was like, wait a minute, I know this person. And
Yeah,
I messaged my sister. I was like, I sent it to her. I was like, I know this person. She's like,
that
okay,
was
cool. I was
wild.
like,
That
no,
got
I
over
know them.
that got over 100,000 views, and I took that video, and it took maybe like 30 seconds to do it because I was just like videotaping my Switch with my phone. And
Yeah.
then I did it right at the end of the night, right after the convention ended. I woke up in the morning at 100,000 views. I was like, the heck just happened?
That's
That was cool.
insane. Literally, TikTok is the strangest with their algorithm. I talk about this almost every single time, but TikTok's algorithm is insane and can get you so many followers, and not just like on Twitch, because I haven't gotten anybody from TikTok to Twitch, but anybody on TikTok, you just get all these people coming in here, and you're like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, how did, like, you can just post one video and then all of a sudden it just like blows up. And I don't post regularly enough on there. I literally just post me doing goofy shit a lot of the times. And one of those times I got quite a few views on one of my videos, and it was just me talking about me being bisexual and over a song. And I always laugh so hard about the idea of that. I was just like, I was just proving a point, because that's literally what happened. My husband was watching TikTok, the song by itsNicoleBee came on, and I ran, and I was just like, let me see your phone. I need to see this woman. Like, I need to see who's on your screen. And then I posted it on TikTok, and over the course of a month, I can't even remember how many views. I think it was around 100,000 views, but it was 33K, I think is where it ended, of likes. And I was just like,
God.
why?
Okay, I have to go back and watch this. I haven't seen this video yet. Was it the me and your girlfriend? Of course it was.
Yeah.
Wait, was the context that you heard this on your husband's phone and you're like, there's a thirst trap, I need to see this?
Yes.
I love that for you.
I'm just like, I need to see this, because it's really funny, because like I said earlier, my husband is the one who said, hey, I think you're bisexual. And I'm just like, it literally took me the span of like, I want to say like 5 minutes of me being like, I said, no, I'm not. And then I like thought about it. And it was when we were dating. We were like on the way to the mall. And he was just like, oh yeah, you're bisexual. I was like, I am? No, I'm not. And then I like stopped, and I just like thought about it. On our way to the mall, I was like, well, there is that one time where I was like looking at this. Yeah. Yeah. And my husband's like, no, see, I told you, I know what you're talking about. You're fine. And I came out on Facebook. Bad idea. My dad's side of the family was not I mean, they were okay with it, but because I was in a relationship with a man, they were okay
Mhm.
with it. They're the type of people that are like, I don't approve of this, but I still love you. And I'm like, thanks. And then my husband got a text message from his mom and said, are you guys okay?
Yeah, we're doing great actually. My
Exactly.
wife's a baddie, so yeah, we're doing just fine, thanks.
It was so funny because like he texted me or he told me that he's like, yeah, my mom texted me. I was like, what'd she text you about? Is something going on? And he goes, she asked me if we were good. I was like, oh, I forgot to tell you. I came out on Facebook that I was bisexual, and then he's like, thanks for the warning for that. And I'm like, sorry, because his family's like they don't really care, but they were just like worried that like there was something going on between us and that I had like potentially cheated on him or something. It's like no, it's just like a discovery that I had. It's like an epiphany. I just realized, hey, by the way, I actually like, I like women. Not just your son. I like to look at women a lot, a lot, a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't change. Your sexuality doesn't change just because you're in a relationship with somebody. So that's still an
Exactly.
inherent part about you, regardless of if you're with your husband or not. So
Mhm.
if it's liberating to know that part about yourself.
Yeah, it was just really funny because like just the whole concept was just like bizarre to them that I would come out on Facebook like that. So
Yeah.
since then I've uninstalled Facebook from my phone because there was too many toxic people on there. Uh, my dad's side of the family, and but what's even funnier is I have no idea if they actually watch any of my stuff. But if they're watching my stuff, they're probably being like, "Oh, is that why she's not on Facebook now?"
Sorry, fam, it's your fault.
Love you, but come on, you should have seen this coming. Come on.
Check yourself. uh, Phoebe's not wrong.
I was gonna say, I was like, you're not wrong, but
That's gold. That is gold.
I think the emo just sold it too.
I think so too. Is that your emote?
No.
I love it.
Um. Oh gosh. But going with that, it's gonna keep going, with this, but I'm kind of turning it a little bit with it. Talking about
Yeah.
bisexuality, I have that tag on my streams a lot of the times. Um, the tags. Have you messed around or looked at any of the new tags that they had added like a month or so ago?
Yeah, I haven't really added any of the new stuff. I still keep LGBTQIA plus on my
Mm-hmm.
stream. I am also bisexual. I put the B in bisexuality. It's Nicole bisexual. So, um, I keep the tag on there. I even put the bisexual tag, but I keep the LGBTQIA plus tag. And I noticed earlier you mentioned about like how people have come in and they've said some snarky comments
Mm-hmm.
about tags.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a whole new challenge. With tags comes
Mm-hmm.
people who target based on those tags. I've definitely encountered that, and I've had several discussions with my mods on how do we navigate around that. Like, what happens if somebody comes into our stream and they say something, which has happened. I usually just put it on subscriber only mode for a little bit. I apologize. I'm like, sorry if you're not subscribed right now. We're doing this to protect it. It's not because I don't want to keep non-subscribers from talking, but people are going to be trolling. They're not going to give me their money if they're going to be mean. So
Mm-hmm.
trying to find some way to give it a break.
Mm-hmm.
You know, block immediately, block and walk.
Mm-hmm.
So
For
I have
sure.
the highest level of security on my stream. Like I have two-factor. Like you have to have your email approved before. But still, those people come out of the woodwork based on
Oh yeah.
tags.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's important to have it. I love having that
Yes.
tag on my channel. I think it shows people, this is a safe space. You're in
Mm-hmm.
like community, and I want you to be here.
For sure. Something that I've gotten some trolls, of course, but I've also gotten quite a few people coming into my stream and being like, they literally just come in, they follow, they say hi, and then they uh, throw out that emote, the little bisexual pride emote, and then they
Aw.
like, then they're like bisexual pride, and I'm just like, why did they say that? And I was like, oh, my tag, that's right, I have the tag on right now. So like, I see that quite often too, as I get the hearts and stuff, and um, I think with like charity streaming, I've been doing a lot more of it in the last year, and I've raised money for Trans Lifeline a couple of times. And when we did that, I've gotten quite a few people from the trans community come in from the one last year, and uh, they stay because we are safe with how we monitor our chat. Because as soon as somebody says something, being like, because you get the people coming in and being like, there's only two genders, and we were like, fuck out of here, like, go away.
You're wrong. Ban.
Yeah, literally that's what it is. It's like, no, but bye.
Yeah, absolutely. No time for that. That's like an
Hmm.
instant block. I'm not even here to discuss it.
I'm not, yeah,
Things
exactly.
things like that. I also have a delay on my chat so that moderators have 3 seconds to see messages before the rest of the community has a chance.
Oh.
So that, yeah, which is super easy to set up, but just so that, everybody else in chat doesn't have to see those like vulgar, awful things that trolls come in and say. I don't
Hmm.
even want to give them the chance because it's just stressful and
Hmm.
hurtful, and I don't want to see it. I don't want the rest of my community to have to see that.
Hmm.
So I have that in place,
Hmm.
because that kind of just is just hateful nonsense, and
Hmm.
yeah, no
I don't,
space for that here.
I don't even think I knew that existed.
Oh yeah, I can show you how to set it up. I'm pretty sure it's just in like moderation settings, and you can
Uh-huh.
set a moderation delay, and I think it's up to 3 seconds. But I figure 3 seconds gives my mods a chance to, and I don't think chat even notices that there's a slight delay before they can read the rest of
Hmm.
it. It just
Yeah.
they can see their messages as it populates, and yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna actually put that in my notes right now, so that way I remember to do that. Um, Notes.
All
But
the
yeah.
little things they try to do to make it more comfy and
Yeah.
protected. I definitely have had those positive comments too. People have come in and been like, "Hey, I really appreciate that you have this tag on here. Are you part of that community?" That kind of thing. And that's like,
Hmm.
okay, very affirming to me. That's the reason why I want to keep that on the stream.
Yeah. What's funny is that, okay, so I have a personal Discord. Like, it's just me in there, and I have like, cuz I can't hold planners anymore. I can't, cuz I don't know what it is. My brain just can't focus on a planner. Every time I have one, I just buy a new one. I have like 50 planners and I can't focus on them.
Yeah.
But Discord, I'm always on Discord, and so I put that on there, and I have a TikTok ideas little thing, and in there, my first one says the pros and cons of having the LGBTQIA tag. Um,
Hmm.
it's definitely one of those ideas that I have considered doing for doing on TikTok, is like being like, the pros of having the tag is that you get these wonderful people coming in your chat that see that you're a safe place, and then you get to grow your community even more with those wonderful people. The cons of it is that you get these trolls, but the pro of that is that you can ban them so fast that it doesn't even matter.
Yep. There definitely is that. I think it definitely the pros outweigh the cons.
Hmm.
Oh, okay, I figured it out. So if you go into like your creator dashboard and you go to
Hmm.
settings, under settings, there's a moderation panel. Then there's chat options, and it says non-mod chat delay. You can put it 2 seconds, 4 seconds, or 6 seconds. Mine is at 4 seconds. It says that it adds a short delay before non-mods see messages. Any message that is timed out or banned during the delay is removed from chat completely. So nobody ever has to see the nonsense that happens when trolls come to attack.
That's cool. I just added that. Perfect.
Nice! Yay! We're
Hell
learning. I
yeah.
love it.
I love that, and it's so fast, especially the way that you described where it was at. That was so easy for me to find it. I love it.
Okay, okay. I hope that that helps anybody who's listening too. I think adding that has just, it's just a tiny little safety net, but hopefully it's
Hmm.
making a difference.
Yeah, it's perfect. It'll help. It'll help out quite often because I think I do that a lot where um, uh, I've seen some slight delay on somebody's stream before because they had the chat rolling up on the screen, and I was noticing that, and I thought it was me. But that was probably what it was a moderation thing because I was monitoring my mobile delay, and it was a lot longer than it would usually be. Okay,
Yeah,
now
I've also done things like I removed the chat on screen during my stream, as well as removed when I get follow alert, I remove their name
mm-hmm.
because you have people come in with inappropriate usernames.
I
So then,
just recently got rid of that.
yeah, I still have the image that pops up in the sound. So when somebody
Mm-hmm.
does follow, it's still something cute and celebrated. But then
Mm-hmm.
I can see on my end who followed. And if it has an appropriate username, then I'll say, hey, Glamour Fairy, thank you so much for the follow. But if yours is like, inappropriate, I'm not even going to acknowledge it. And I'm just going to ban
Mm-hmm.
you. Bye.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
nobody even knows that it happens. Same thing
Mm-hmm.
with the messages. If somebody says something inappropriate and they're being immediately banned, I try to ban and be discreet about it. I don't even mention it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
say anything about it. I don't make a scene about it. They can't
Mm-hmm.
even see the messages because if I make a big deal about it, then the rest of chat dwells on that and talks about it, and it just completely like derails from like whatever fun topic we are talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
There are teachable moments though sometimes though, and I will take a moment to be like,
Yeah.
no, we're going to talk about why J.K. Rowling is a bad person.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we're gonna stop here and talk about that. But then there are times
Exactly.
where it's like, but then there are other times I'm like, nobody needs to see this. Let's just move on.
Exactly. I've been noticing that too. With I should have honestly done the follow alert thing. I should have done that so long ago. I had a huge troll last not last year. It was like a year and a half ago. I had a huge troll, and they would consistently come back into the chat um in a different username, and we always knew who it was because you can tell with the way that they had the username, but they would, get the satisfaction because their name was on the screen, so they were ruining my stream at the time. Um,
Yeah.
but I didn't understand that when I was doing it because it was still baby me, and I was just like, no, but I want people to know that, their follow alert is there. And so I just recently got rid of it finally because I've been doing a lot of fixing my stream stuff, and that was one of the things that I had decided that I needed to do a long time ago and fix that. So now I don't have the name on there, but like you said, if somebody was to say something like or if somebody was to come into my chat and I could see their name and be like, oh, thank you so much for the sub, or for the follow, I appreciate it.
Definitely a good way to mitigate it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like anybody new who's following feels upset that their name doesn't pop up or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can still greet them and it can still be a really positive experience, but
Mm-hmm.
you got to protect your community. You got to do what's right for you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We've spent a lot of time talking, and I just realized where we are at with the time. So if anybody has any questions, go ahead and use the channel points redemption right now to go ahead and ask the questions. Because I kind of uh, we've just been chatting a lot.
Yeah,
But this is the Q and
been
A
great.
part now.
Yeah, no, we definitely I feel like we could talk forever, which is wonderful. So
Literally.
thanks again for having me on the show. This has been a lot of fun.
Of course. Okay, so if you the it's not on. Oh Jesus Christ! See, I knew I was forgetting something. Thank you. Um, let me remember how to do this.
Yes, chat,
I
ask anything, literally anything.
okay. It should be just like the first one there because it should say like new on it. Um, it's literally the one thing I forgot. Anyway, I didn't even notice that there was a the dyslexic spelling. I literally read it. It was like redemption. Oh, forgot. So it's on now. If you want to ask a question, it's there. It's in the channel points. It should be the first one because it's only 10 channel points. So we can go ahead and ask that. During that time, while we are waiting for people to ask questions, I am going to let those know that are listening in on the podcast or watching on the YouTube channel that we do this every Saturday around 3 p.m. Pacific time, and if you want to watch live, then you can watch us then because you can ask questions for whoever I'm interviewing. And I actually have one lined up for next week. Next week, we will be talking to Toadsworthy. So I'm excited. I'm excited to talk to them because they were originally not going to be uh, on and because they had some stuff that they were doing and then their plans didn't work quite to plan. So it worked in my favor for me to have them on the channel. So I'm excited. So that being said, I need to do the overlay. You've got a week to do it. You good. Also, if you didn't know, Hex Andrew does all of my overlays as well as the logo and the thumbnails for all of Fae Fam Talks. He does all of them. If you like any of them, please go follow them on Twitter and on Twitch. Okay, I'm trying to find my buttons again because I know where they're at. Okay. Oh my goodness, I have so many things in my queues that I forgot to get rid of. Okay. Question number 1 is from Andrew. Andrew asks, Hoy, how are your days?
So far, so good. Rolled out of bed around 2. Ate a bagel, made some tea, and I'm hanging out here talking with Glam. So far, so good. It's just beginning.
Completely different from mine because I started work at 5 a.m. So I roll out of bed at 4:30 this morning and worked an extra hour than I was supposed to, and then ran home practically and started throwing things together to the point that I forgot to add the question part to my channel redemptions. Oh man. I'm just going to bed then. Yeah, 4:30 in the morning. I was just like, yeah, I don't like waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I can't wait till I don't have to do that anymore.
I think I was awake up at the hour, but not because I was. I think I was awake at that hour.
You weren't waking up. You were just already awake.
I was still thriving.
Yeah.
See, so sorry,
and
Glam, that's rough.
That would be me if I didn't have to do this.
Yep.
One day I won't have to go to this damn job anymore.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's temporary. It's a paycheck.
Exactly. Okay. Blue Wave asks, what was the first video game you beat and how excited were you for it at that time?
Ooh. I gotta think about that one.
I don't I don't beat video games.
That's fair.
I don't finish them. The first game I ever finished on stream was Legend of Zelda Link to... Was it Link to the Past? The one that was on the DS. A Link Between Worlds, that's what it was. A Link Between Worlds.
Oh, yeah.
It was the version of Link to the Past, but it was for the DS. I finished that on stream for the first time, and that was my first Zelda game I ever finished. And then I finished Super Mario Odyssey with my stepson, so I don't know if that really actually counts that I finished it because he was Cappy.
Cute. That's fun.
It was fun. It was lots of fun. And then I don't even know what my first. Oh, I got one. Bratz Rock Angels on the GameCube.
Oh my god. Get out of here. I forgot that game existed. Wow. I had a lot of Bratz dolls growing up.
Same.
Yeah, that unlocked a whole new memory. Taking off their feet and just having the little stumps.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome. I think the first game I beat was blue version for Pokemon. I want to say it was blue version. And I definitely remember beating the Elite Four on my couch. I think I was probably in third grade, I think, when I beat it, third or fourth grade. Yeah, I think that was probably my first game that I completely did on my own. And I was elated, absolutely elated. I think my mom beat the Elite Four on yellow version before I beat the Elite Four, so I was a little bit salty, but still excited that I beat blue version.
I love it. Like, even when I was younger, I always played games that just never had an ending.
Mm.
Because I played Animal Crossing, and then I had other games that I would play. I always played the computer games, like kind of like Diner Dash and stuff like that. I always liked playing those types of games. So that's what I would end up playing that would have like an ending, I guess. Kind of, but not really, because the levels go on forever.
Yeah, I played a lot of like computer games. I played a
Mm-hmm.
lot of like Neopets and Gaia online
Oh
too.
my god, me too.
So, oh yay! I love it.
Yeah, Neopets was the beginning of my internet fascination, because my mom was playing Neopets, and I like remember coming up to her and poking her on her shoulder and being like, "Can I play?" And then she's like, "Not yet." And then I was like, "Okay, when can I play?" And she goes, "When you turn 10." I was like, "Got it." So the day I turned 10, I like walked up to her, poked her on the shoulder. "Can I play Neopets now?"
Cute.
And
Heck yes.
my mom was my mom was a troll when she was on Neopets. She had like all of the guilds, and like she was in charge of a lot of them, or she wasn't in charge of some of them, and she would go into them and like she would make fun of people for for like doing role playing and stuff like that. She would be
Oh my
like, "Oh,
gosh.
you're a vampire, rar!" Like.
Mom, no.
So when my mom told me, I was like, "Oh, so you were like an OG troll." She's like, "Is that what it's called?"
That's hilarious.
Oh god. Uh, don't be too weird. I'm sure lots of people played all types of games. Oh yeah, for sure. There's all sorts of games. And Brass Rock Angels, I played that game so many times, to the point where my sister and I can probably be playing the game and would quote the whole game over and over to each other, because that is like legitimately what we what we did.
Hilarious cutscenes from that game. I never
Oh
played
my
it, but like I've
god.
seen like really random like YouTube compilations of it, and I'm like, this game is a gem. I remember the commercials for it, but I never played
Mhm.
it.
Oh god, they were great. I loved them so much. Um, Vivi asks, "Is there a game you're looking forward to? What is it and why?"
Ooh. Yeah, there's a couple games I'm looking forward to. Um, the new Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. That's coming out in November. I'm very looking forward to that. I never played Diamond and Pearl. I've completely missed that generation. I think I was probably senior in high school about that time when it came out, so I missed it. I was busy with school and every other extracurricular that I was doing at the
Mhm.
time. So I'm excited to finally experience it because I know a lot of people think that that is like their favorite generation of Pokemon. So
Mhm.
very excited to try that. Also, I'm really excited for the new Arceus game that's coming out next year. Breath of the
Mhm.
Wild 2, the
Oh,
Monkey Ball collection that's coming out for Switch.
yes.
Have you heard about Little Witch in the Woods? That game, it's like a pixely kind of like you're like a little witch. It just looks really cute too. There was
All
like
of the
a
little witchy games. I'm so excited. So the games
yes,
that were in the I don't know if you watched it, the Wholesome Direct.
I haven't watched it, but I know that this one was in it. Little Witch in the Woods
I
was, yeah.
literally have a list here that has all the games that I wrote down that they announced, that they're like, "Oh, all these games are coming out." And every time I saw one that I was like, "Oh, I like that," I wrote it down. "Oh, I
Oh,
like that one,"
cool.
I wrote it down. So like all of like I have a huge list, and it's not even just, I've got another page of games where I'm just like, "Yes, let's do it." So I'm
Oh my gosh, send
excited.
me that, please.
Yes, I even went through and I Steam wish list all of them, all the ones that I could Steam wish list. Some of them were Switch games, so I couldn't really wish list them there. But um, I'm really excited for a lot of them. I played Baron Breakfast, the demo of that one, and Baron Breakfast was a really cute game to play. It was a cute concept. You're like a little bear, with your two friends, and you come up to the woods and you find this like little beaten up house, and you rummage through this little treasure chest, trying to find food. And this old lady comes out and says, "Hey, you look like a strong bear. Can you like fix the hotel for me?" And then you like actually become the person to like take care of the hotel, but you're a bear.
That's cute. Is that on Steam?
Yeah, there was a demo for it, but I think the demo just ended, like it was only for like 3 days or something like that. Um,
Mm.
but when it comes out, I'm probably gonna stream it because it was a lot of fun.
Oh, cute. Okay, I'll have to look into that one too.
But yeah,
I should
I'll
just watch
I'll
the
I'll,
Cozy Direct.
I'll send you I'll send you. Oh yeah, you should. There's so many good games. They came out with like 70 something or whatnot, and I wrote down like I think 30 of them, like half of them.
Oh,
I'm so excited for all the indie games that are coming out and all the wholesome games because I feel like I want to bring a little bit some of that back a little bit.
yeah. Gosh, and you know me. We're the same. Like any
Hmm.
witchy game, please
Oh
just
yeah.
send it my way.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, 100%.
So excited. There was like three of them. That were witchy. There was Witchy Life Story. There was like Witchwood, Moonshell Island, and then there was like some gardening ones. There was Cat Cafe Manager. Oh my god, I was so excited. Like,
Please, Moonshell Island. I haven't even heard of
yeah.
that.
Oh my god, it looks so cute. It's like a pixel. I think that's the one that I'm thinking of. Uh, but Moonshell Island just looks so
Yeah,
pretty and so cute.
it's super cute. I just added to my wish list.
Yes.
That's awesome. Oh, that's cute. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture of the list that I have. Um, but there's a lot of fun games that are coming out. Breath of the Wild 2, I'm definitely excited for, even if I haven't finished Breath of the Wild 1.
Yeah, no. I think you should. I think you should beat the final boss and then do it, and then play it. I don't think you need to beat all the DLC to
Hmm.
know, but
Oh
like
yeah, for
knowing how the
sure.
first one ends, I think the second was gonna like leap off exactly where it ended.
I think so too. I'm really excited. I have seen quite a bit of it from some other people, but I have uh sorry, my cat started meowing and it startled me. I'm excited for Breath of the Wild too. I haven't finished Breath of the Wild because um I had gotten into, I'm literally at the very end. I've gotten into the castle. I gotten to like the gates of it, and then I got hit by three guardians at once, and I just went, "Nope, I am done," and walked away and said, "This is not the time for me to finish this game. I will finish it later."
Feeling on that one.
Mhm.
Love that game, man. There's so much to it too.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely not like a rush to the end of it.
Oh, for sure. I've been playing it for the entire time I've been on the for streaming as of I think it was in July of 2019 that I started that game, like a full fresh playthrough on stream, and I've been playing on the same playthrough since.
Cool. Oh, that's super fun.
Oh yeah, Stray, that's the one with the cat that you're a stray cat and you're trying to find your way home, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think you play as the cut.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to play that without crying, honestly.
It's I know it's a PS5 release, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, Life is Strange as well. The new Life is Strange
Yeah.
game. Good.
Oh my
Definitely gonna
god,
play
I
that.
was crying just watching the trailer, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm
Something in
ready.
Life in Strange Colors or something like I
Yeah,
can't
True
remember what it.
Colors. Yeah,
True Colors. That's what it was.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one.
Me
You
too.
you asked what's your favorite Neopet. My favorite Neopet is a Kugra because it started with a K, and my real name is Kaylee, and it starts with K. So
Kaylee Cougar. That's so cute.
that's
I love
literally
that.
why I love it. Was literally the reason why I picked it. And when Limited 2 was still a thing, they had a Neopets collection there. So every time we went over to Seattle, because where I'm at, we didn't have a Limited 2, we could only do it in Seattle. So every time we went to Seattle, we would go to the Limited 2 store and buy a bunch of Neopet stuff. So
Yeah, I also grew up in like the middle of nowhere of Washington, so we did not have a limited two.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. Yeah.
It had to be like a whole like ordeal where we're going to Seattle. We're gonna be there for like 3 days.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or visiting. I had some family who lived on the west side, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, making a whole big trip out of it. I never
Yeah.
went to a limited two though. I remember when they had the Jamba Juice promotion. I really wanted to go to
Oh my god.
Jamba Juice for Neopets, but
Mm-hmm.
didn't make it out for it.
I just like it's the idea of well, limited two changed into Justice, and then I think Justice got uh booted. I think, but like it was just funny
Oh, I didn't
to
know
think
that.
about it. I don't remember if it got bankrupt or not, but there was a lot of stores that were like that at the time. Um, but yeah, so Kugra because it started with a K, and a lot of it was very difficult for me to find things that started with a K, and
Cougars
I
are
loved
great.
cats.
It's perfect. It's so perfect for you then. Mine was an Akara. Akaras were my favorite.
Oh my
Because I
god.
adopted one named like Princess Kara was what her name was from the Neopian Pound. And when I got her, she already had read a bunch of books. And I'm a huge bookworm, so I was like, "Oh, we're
Mhm.
like the same." So I would spend all my money in Neopets on books, so I could give her all of the books, and she's very well read, and I love that. I thought it was just cute.
Yes, I think mine read too. I can't remember. It's so long ago that I can't even remember. I just remember that my username was Kaylee the Superstar. Because
Cute.
I was just like, because I have a thing with stars as well. I have a tattoo of a star. I also have a tattoo of a cat. So like it was just like I always wanted to be like that. So it was Kaylee the Superstar was my username.
Oh my gosh, cute. I can't say what my username is because my mother thought it was okay that I used my full Christian name on
Oh my
Neopets.
god. Oh my god. My mom was like, you can use your first name, but that's it.
Yeah, nope, no internet safety there. And then we
Oh my
learned.
god.
Whoops. She's like, yeah, just use that. It'll be easy to remember. Yeah, it sure was. Dangerous.
Don't use your real name for anything. Like full real name. Like obviously you can use like your first name.
Yes,
That's fine. I don't
absolutely.
use my first name for a lot of things cuz the way my name is spelled is not the typical way you would spell Kaylee. Kaylee is for me is spelled Keli. And
Oh, that's
so
pretty.
when people see it, they always call me Kelly. So that's why I usually just go by Glamour because it's just so much easier.
You're like, I'm not a Kelly.
Like it's just I don't want to like tell people that my name is not Kelly. So I literally like people will look at my name tag at work and be like, "Oh, thank you so much, Kelly." And I'm like, "You're welcome." And they come by every single day and they say the same thing. And I'm like, "Uh-huh." And my coworkers are always like, um when are you going to tell them? I'm like, "Never." Never. I'm never going to tell them that my name is not Kelly. Like, I'm not going to do that to them. I've been here for 5 years now. That's not happening.
Like at that point, it's like it's been awkward long enough. Have you
Yeah.
heard that? I saw a TikTok one time of this lady. She had I think she's Scottish. She had a very thick accent, and she was talking about her neighbor. She thought her neighbor's name was Mavis for so long, and then her other neighbor came over and was just like, "Wait, who are you talking about?" She's like, "Oh yeah, my next door neighbor." And they're like, "Oh, you mean I think like Jessica or something?" And she's like, "Wait, what do you mean?" Like they've been signing Christmas cards as Mavis to her forever just because they didn't want to tell her that that wasn't the name.
That's literally me. That's literally me. I'm just like, I would be that person being like, yeah, my name is totally Mavis. I'm just gonna, yep. Yeah,
Yep,
how's it going?
me. That's me
I will
forever.
answer to it. It's like me. I literally answer to, because like, Kaylee, I will answer to Kelly, Keely, Kylie, Kelsey. I will literally answer to a whole lot. So like, yeah.
Yep. Glam.
Yes, Andrew, I do. Andrew has doxed himself to me a couple of times. I'm not gonna
Oh
lie.
no, Andrew.
It's okay. I
I
won't
did.
come to his door and be like, "Hey, give
Oh
me all
no,
your money."
people call you Jennifer Jess. Oh no. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's hilarious.
I sent her a file using an email, using my full name email. Yeah. I think I messaged him being like, hey, I don't know if you meant to do that, but this happened. You might not want to do that to anybody else.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm glad you were able to help him out with that.
Mm-hmm.
Went to somebody who's safe and
Yeah,
secure.
exactly. Firefly asks, what's your favorite game to play with your community?
Late, we've been playing a game called Gartic Phone.
Ah,
That game is so funny. I love it.
Gartic Phone is pretty fun. I love watching people play Gartic Phone. I've done so like I have words on stream sometimes. I haven't recently, but sometimes when we're waiting for like a Dead by Daylight queue to go through, we'll play words on stream. Or sometimes I did it wasn't Gartic Phone, but it was Gartic on stream, and it's kind of the same thing where they have the pictures drawn, you just guess what the picture is. And the amount of times that we've played that is it's so much fun because like you just keep typing in there until you get something that is that thing that you're looking at, and everyone's like looking at the same thing trying to figure out what it is. I have a clip where where I thought this picture was a dance floor because it was white and black, it was dotted like a checkerboard, it was, you know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, it's a dance floor. And then my husband came into the chat, looked at it, and typed chess, and it popped up. And I was like, oh, you know, same thing, right?
So good.
I was like, oh no, it looks like a dance floor to me. Just put like a little disco ball on top, and it's a dance floor. We're set. Like, that's where my mind was at. But he was just like, no, it's a chessboard. I'm like, okay,
That's
fine.
funny.
That
You know,
way.
teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Really. But yes,
I've never
you were
played
saying-
Words on stream before, but I've seen it played on other people's streams. I think it's pretty funny.
Oh, it's pretty fun to play. Like, Words on Stream is quite fun to play with. We play Words on Stream and we experience how badly the American school system failed me.
The mood.
I was the person that was like in the spelling bee.
I was too. Yep, I was spelling bee champ like every year, like for my school, and then went on to districts and states.
We
one
only
year.
had it like once, I think, and we did it like in class first, and then we did one class member would go to the assembly, and then they would be in the front and do it in front of everybody. And I remember I got third place, and I was so mad. And they had it kind of funny too, the way that they did it. They allowed you to write it down and then spell it. And so I remember writing it down, and you have a certain amount of time to do it. So you have like 30 seconds, and I'm like writing it down going, this is wrong. This is wrong. I know what this is. I was so mad because I got it wrong. But that was, for introvert me, being able to go up front and be third place was very
Yeah,
nerve-wracking.
definitely. But I'm proud of you. You did it. Third place is huge. I still remember the word that I failed on in state spelling bee.
Mm-hmm.
Quiver.
Quiver. Oh, man.
I was so nervous. I'm pretty sure I said there was 2 V's in it, and I'm like, I knew that was wrong. I was so nervous, just so anxious. It's hard being put on the spot like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not easy.
Especially in front of so
But-
many people.
Yes, massive room of people. Yeah, that's funny though. Yep, definitely spelling bee. I think I probably do okay with words in stream.
Mm-hmm. It's
What
one of
group
those
of you-
things where you like kind of realize what words can be combined into other words too.
Oh, that's fun.
Okay. Is there any other questions that you guys would like to ask? There is a few more available, although this is going a lot longer than I had planned. Oops. I'm pretty sure this is the longest episode too.
God, you get 2 girls in here who just can't stop talking.
I know sometimes I feel like I'm talking too much, but we're literally like bouncing off each other, and it's like perfect. It's a perfect amount of talking right now.
Oh, I've been having a lot of fun with it too.
Okay, so with that, I think we're going to go on to the ending here. Um, yeah. So thank you so much for being on here with me on the podcast. Um,
Aw, Glam, thank you for having me. This has been
of
so much fun
course.
spending time with you and your community today.
Yeah, and then like uh coming up with the topic of community building. We kind of were talking about it before in the content creation journey as well. So like, because community building is something that a lot of people don't really think about when they're first starting stream. Because when you first start stream, a lot of times people don't always have this same concept of why they're streaming, and community building is very important to talk about, especially like as seasoned streamers as well. So it was really nice to talk about that topic as well. I really appreciate it.
It's definitely what, like you said, you don't think about it when you're beginning, but over the years you learn and you grow.
Hmm.
And if anything that either of us said helps another budding streamer or current streamer who's growing, like that's awesome, and I'm
Hmm.
glad to help.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So for those that are in the Twitch chat, we are going to be on a ending screen. But don't worry, we're still going to be here. We'll talk to you a little bit more right after the ending screen. It's just for the YouTube and the podcast so that they can have the cute little screen. And then we're going to come back to the screen again, and we will rate somebody and give our love to somebody else. But yeah, we'll be right back, and thank you again so much for being here. I appreciate you. And
Appreciate you.
ah! All right. All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Okay. Bye.